Welcome to the Brady Bunch of Autism, your source for family, parenting, and all things autism and special needs. Created by our family for your family. Live from the Ed Asner Family Center. And now your hosts, Navah and Matt Asner.
Hello and welcome to the
What
Brady
is
Bunch
that?
of Autism.
What a wonderful
I was
way
pointing
of-
to you.
What a wonderful
I wanted you to bring
saying
us
hi
in.
to your wife.
I wanted you to bring us in and start us.
I'm sorry.
Start us with
I had a mint in my mouth.
vim and vigor.
I apologize.
Yes, no, it's okay. Welcome to the Brady Bunch of Autism. We are a podcast that deals with autism, and special needs, and parenting, and marriage, and
All those complicated
Did I say parenting?
things.
I said parenting. And
All
all
that's
sorts
fun
of
and complicated.
goofy stuff that has to do with that kind of stuff, and that's what we are. And we're the Brady Bunch of Autism.
There.
That we've been given that nickname because why?
Because we're a blended family.
Yes.
And when I met Matt 100 years ago, I had 4 beautiful children, 2 autistic, and Maddie had 2 beautiful boys, one who was a special guy, my Willie.
Yeah.
And when we came together, we're the Brady Bunch of Autism. What can we say?
And you know, the same kind of crazy stuff happens to the Brady Bunch of Autism.
And we
happens
have
to the
Panda.
Brady Bunch.
Didn't the Brady Bunch have a dog?
They had a different dog, and it was named after a different animal. So it was.
I think they had a sheepdog though, didn't they?
They had a sheepdog. No, they didn't have a sheepdog. They had
a bearded
they had a
collie or
terrier. They had a terrier, like a bearded collie.
Okay, somebody
named
has to answer
Tiger.
that because
That's right,
I think
named
it was. I think it looked a lot like Panda when she's fluffy.
It was named Tiger, and our dog is named
Panda Bear. Yes.
Panda Rose, actually.
Panda Rose.
And but we also call her Panda Bear. She can be called Panda Bear too. So that's it. That's the thing.
So today is kind of a special day because this is our first Thursday show. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be kind of like not stirring things up. Well, we're going to be
stirring the pot.
We're going to be stirring the pot a little bit.
Navah always stirs things up. So there we go.
I was raised with 8 brothers. If I didn't stir the pot, I would have been eaten alive.
Exactly.
But so on Thursdays are going to be very special because you'll be able to see us twice in one day. And we're going to have our mental health director, Chrisa Sadd, joining us. And you'll have 2 chances to really get your mental health tip of the day, your just kind of like a little uplifting moment in your life and get some support. I mean, we all need support.
Lord knows we need it these days.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Today, we're going to focus on our program we're finally going back to in-person, and we're going to debut our in-person with the dating spectrum. And the dating spectrum was born from our watching Autism and Love. I always want to say Love on the Spectrum.
No.
Autism and Love.
There were 2.
No, I don't.
Oh, that was the one with Lindsay Neviker.
I don't think that's what
okay.
But I think that's probably where it first started.
The Netflix show Love on you know what I'm talking about.
Love on the Spectrum.
I still my brain is chetzy after the COVID.
But you know, this is a subject that has been, I would say, taboo for parents for many, many years. I mean, you know, I'll never forget sitting at a conference and listening to Peter Gerhardt talk about relationships and sex. And it you know, it was one of the things that I think frightened me the most about being a parent was that eventuality that it would happen, that we would be at a point where, you know, that was being thought about and acted on, and it's terrified me.
But I think what happened was when we thought of doing this, like everything we've done in the center, we really don't want to, we don't want it to be like just the average parent perspective or specialist perspective.
Right.
And I think what makes our program unique is that, like all the other programs in the Ed Asner Family Center, we have an actual autistic individual who is there from the very get-go, from helping Chrisa create the curriculum to being one of our co-presenters. And I think it's what makes our program really work and really help our individuals not just feel like they've gone to another class where they're being preached to. I think it's really important. And so this season, so to speak, we're going to bring Chrisa in a minute, and she's going to tell us about our new guest speaker who we're very excited about. So why don't we bring Chrisa in first? And Chrisa, let's talk about all things dating spectrum.
Hello, Chrisa.
Hello, guys. I mean, first of all, I'm so excited to be back after we had like a brief pause. It's really nice to be back and to see everyone again. Yes, everything that you described, Nava, was just on point. One of the things I'd like to add is that we'd like to say that we're having a conversation about dating. And meaning that conversation is everyone can contribute. And each participant brings their own experience or their own desires and needs to the class. So each class is actually very different. We have different guest speakers. We're now going to be doing our third semester, which I am just like over the moon, excited to say. We've had such an amazing team of people helping develop the curriculum, fine-tuning. We fine-tune as we go. We've had some wonderful guest speakers, and I'm very excited that this semester, I finally got the opportunity to meet Tom Iland, who is a autism self-advocate and life coach, and among many other things. And I'm sure he'll tell you all about himself, but he has so many pieces of experience behind him. And I'm very excited to be working with him this semester.
Why don't we bring Tom on?
On that note,
I'm going to bring Tom in. Tom, how are you, Tom?
welcome.
Doing really well, Matt. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Hi,
Well,
Tom.
Hi, Nava. Hi, Chrisa. Excuse me.
Hi.
So we're excited that you're doing this with us. What are your thoughts on it? Just off the bat, what are your thoughts on doing something like this with the Asner Family Center?
Well, my meaning of life is love and relationships, independent living, further education, and employment. It's like a little acronym, life. And the first aspect of it being love and relationships, we kind of take for granted at times. We don't really think about or sometimes struggling with the ability to love ourselves and think about how that impacts other people, particularly amongst people on the autism spectrum. And I've had a number of experiences with women and dating older and younger women on and off the autism spectrum. And I really would like to share some of my stories and experiences with my peers and people that might help them find love and maintain relationships that bring out the best in them.
Awesome. You'll have to, I want to see that written out because I can't, verbal is hard for me. I need to see the visual of what you just said. So
Sure.
it's life.
I could even put it in the chat here for you.
Yeah,
so you can refer
I need to
it.
see that. That's awesome. But I thought Chris and I both were so passionate to have a male perspective this time. We had the amazing Amy Gravino, who's the funniest lady in the world, last time, and really to have you co-run with Chrisa was so important to me because, Tom, so many of our participants have come and said, I've been at other programs that were trying to do something similar, but it really felt like they were being not talked down to, but not, they were just being told how they were supposed to react, how they were supposed to feel, how they were supposed to deal with a situation that person really doesn't understand what it's like to be autistic and what it's like to try to have these social experiences, maybe while you're in a full panic attack. Or maybe while the overhead lights are affecting how you feel as you're sitting there, or how, there's so many things that we don't even think about that you're experiencing during a first date. And to me, it was so important to have this, realistic view for our participants to be given. And I'm so
well, we really want to focus on inclusion on many levels, not only just contributing with their own experiences. We all contribute with our experiences. I talk about my dating experiences. we all have that conversation about it. But also, if it's overwhelming or somebody's getting triggered, they by all means can get up and go hang out on the love sack or take a break outside. So we really have kept everything in mind best we can to provide a safe, inclusive environment. We're still in COVID, so every person we separate the desks out, and we really have a safe in-person environment during this time.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have our challenges of doing an in-person, because how many times you've said, Chrisa, this program really doesn't work as well, not nearly as well virtually. I mean, it really is so different when you're in a room with your peers, when you're looking Tom and Chrisa in the face. Everyone's bouncing ideas and experiences off each other. It's night and day different. So thank God we have this giant, multi-purpose room, and everyone's able to be staggered at their desks and safe. And we really are being very careful. I mean, especially after, just getting over COVID ourselves, we understand the impact of this, world we're now living in.
But one of the things that's you just touched on it, it's very exciting, is that Tom is going to be with us for all 8 of the classes. So I'm very excited, Tom, to be side by side with you and sharing our information and just really providing tools and techniques and all sorts of different tips that we can to help navigate the dating world.
Absolutely. And I'm glad I could be part of all the classes in order to establish and maintain consistency for the students. So with the same person from start to finish, and that I can see the overall progress of them throughout the entire course.
Well, it's going to be amazing. And, it's interesting because one of the greatest pieces of advice I ever got about this kind of stuff was that we've created this coded world for dating and relationships. So it's neurotypical people have created a coded world that we hide behind because it's too embarrassing or too whatever to talk about. So we have to kind of come out of that coded world. So, Chrisa, do you want to talk a little bit about how that maybe happens during this 8-week course?
Yeah, absolutely. We first of all, we do a survey and we just sort of ask everyone around the room, people are like, what do you think about this? Or how do you feel about that? And so we get a glimpse and a little bit of understanding about their perspective, what each person imagined what dating would be about or what sex is about. We've had some students say, I just thought, I wanted a date so I can actually have sex. That's a real, true, honest answer, and then we all talk about it, hey, what did you think about that response? And then we go around the room and we decode these neurotypical messages, or, what happens in your friendship circle, what happens when you're trying to ask a girl out and it's going terribly wrong. How do you regroup and try to get your courage back up? And we offer that support to, how about let's try it this way? And we also do mock dating. So everyone loves the mock dating and the improv that goes along with that. It's really actually fun.
So, Tom, for people who might not know you, can you kind of give us your background? Because I mean, Matt and I have known you for a long time. But tell us what makes Tom such a great kind of, example for our participants. And really, I just think that you're going to be a great leader for this course. And tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how we came to know you.
Certainly. And thank you again for having me on. So I'm 38 years old and I live in Santa Clarita, California, near Six Flags Magic Mountain. And I was diagnosed officially with autism when I was about 13 years old, though the signs were there at a much earlier age. And I'd struggled throughout a number of social and communication difficulties growing up. But I knew from a very young age that I really, really wanted a girlfriend. Like that was going to make me whole, or felt like I could have love given as well as given out. And from a young age, after my parents accepted my diagnosis and were a little on edge about who would love me, who would accept me, they gave me the impression that I could only be successful in a relationship if the woman or the girl was also on the autism spectrum. And I found that to be true in some cases, not true in others. And I have since had a number of dating experiences with girls on and off the autism spectrum. And it's a very volatile, very dynamic experience having to be in those situations. And I actually had to go to a special school, the help group in Sherman Oaks, a little bit about social skills and body language and abstract concepts like idioms and sarcasm.
Yeah.
I think people with autism tend to take things at face value. So if they hear, I'm having a great day, they'll think that person's having a great day when something in the tone of voice otherwise. So I've had to learn explicitly through direct private instruction to kind of read between the lines and kind of read into what else is happening with people, because I've also discovered that women and men have their own backgrounds, if you will. If you've ever read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gray, I read that book after getting out of a 4-year relationship with a woman with autism, and I'm like, oh, I wish I'd known that. But it gave me so much clarity as to how I'm going to proceed with relationships. So in addition to the relationships that I've had, I also wanted to do accounting, and I did do accounting for a number of years professionally until I realized this sucks. I don't belong behind a desk crunching numbers. I need to tell my story. I need to share what's going on with me with my peers, and maybe they can learn something from what I've done. So I now coach people for a living, and I also do professional speaking and professional consultations, and wrote a book sharing my secrets to success recently. It's called Come to Life. And
awesome.
You can find this book. It's intended for people on the autism spectrum and anyone else that might be struggling to know themselves, love themselves, and be themselves. My philosophy is that life isn't going to come to you. It's up to you to come to life.
And where can people get that book?
It's
Tom?
available through my website, which is cometolifecoaching.com. You could get it on Amazon, but you'll get it faster and cheaper if you go through my website. So maybe not Amazon, but my website, you can find Come to Life.
Come to lifecoaching.com.
That is the website.
I'm putting it right there. There it is, right there.
Very good.
That's awesome.
So, and I've read the book. It's great.
Yeah.
You actually gave me a copy when we were in Milwaukee, I believe.
I remember Milwaukee. Yes, I do.
Yep. So it's great. And so, well, cool.
So Chrisa, the dating spectrum is a specific course. It's not for everyone. What else are we offering this year that can help if, parents have questions, or they might feel like they want a little more of a group setting or some peer involvement? What else can parents look forward to in our new lineup?
One of the awesome things that as we started the dating spectrum, we realized the need for a Sex Ed 101 course. And we were getting a lot of questions. We were spending, the dating spectrum is actually 8 weeks, and each week is a different topic. Sometimes they blend over, but the sex topic started out as just 1 week, and then it ended up maybe becoming 2 weeks. And then we're like, wait a minute, we're seeing a need here. So we have a wonderful team that is going to be teaching that. That class is 4 weeks, and I believe it's going to start like mid-March. I forgot the date actually that it's starting in March, but that's kind of like a little bit of a prerequisite that might be helpful.
It's kind of like, you start at the beginning. So you're doing Sex Ed 101.
And it's about getting to know yourself and getting to know what it is you want. It's not just how to have sex. It's just about knowing yourself well, knowing what your thoughts and feelings are about sex. Do you want to have sex? Is it included in dating? Is it not included in dating? So all those topics.
And I would even add, that it's not necessarily just about dating. It's about relationships, and it's about friendships,
Self-awareness,
and
Correct.
and
being able to
appropriate-
handle yourself in a
Right.
relationship.
Yes.
And all of this, the Sex 101 course was really born out of a necessity of our first session where we had kids who really, and I call everyone kids. I'm talking about 25-year-olds.
You're a true mom.
She
But-
calls me a kid.
Yeah, I call him a kid. I definitely will call Tom a kid. But I mean, I think it's, a lot of parents have asked me, oh, the dating spectrum. So you're Jewish. You're going to start setting people up like a yenta, right? No, we're not doing that. The dating spectrum and Sex Ed 101 really is about giving our participants tools to go out into the world, to feel safe when they're on social media and somebody says something inappropriate to them, to be able to feel good about their own body awareness. We've had a lot of questions about gender fluidity in autism.
Yes.
All of these questions have to start somewhere. So really, Chris and I really felt strongly that there is, kind of a course 1 and then there's a course 2.
Yes.
So if you have any questions whatsoever about either the dating spectrum or Sex Ed 101, please reach out to us. You can reach Blanca at Blanca, BLANCA at teafc.org. And Blanca will make sure that either Chrisa or I will reach out to you immediately, because there really is something for everyone in these 2 relationship courses. It just depends. Every single one of our participants is different. They have different needs, different support needs.
And we want to make sure that our programs are going to be a good fit for that participant. So we do
Absolutely.
a little questionnaire. We just try to find out what would be a good fit for each person.
And again, the dating spectrum starts on February 28th. It's a very small class.
Yes.
Just to make sure Tom and Chris are safe. So if you want to join the dating spectrum or Sex Ed 101, reach out to us immediately. Blanca at teafc.org.
Or they can call our main line too.
What is our main line, Chrisa?
It's 818 something.
Wow.
818
I was going to say, I'm impressed.
Yes,
I think I have it.
302-170712.
That's
I'll
good. I
won't
believe
stick
you.
to that.
I believe you.
And then Nava, don't you have some other
I
programs you wanted to talk
about? We did something that really broke my heart this year, and it was for the first time ever we had to cancel Camp Ed. And it was the right thing to do. We've had 7. This will be our 8th Camp Ed. And for the first time during winter camp, we had to cancel it. It was right in the crux of the surge, so to speak. So we are having a Camp Ed mini camp for spring break. It is already sold out, but Camp Ed is coming up strong. It starts on June 20th. But we're going to reopen on March 6th, and we're going to reopen big and strong. This year we're going to have a physical fitness class. We're going to have a drama class. We're going to have bring back the choir club, TEAFC Choir Club, run by the amazing Judy Langdon, music therapist extraordinaire. But we're also having, and this is really fun, we're having clown school.
I'm going to go to that.
Yeah, we're having clown school at the Asner Family Center. It's starting in March. All of our programs, you can get more information about.
What's the really cool thing about the clown school?
What is it?
I think you get to dress up.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not saying
when
that.
she described
I'm
it
not
to
saying
me,
that. No, I'm not
She
saying
put me on the
that.
spot
Like it's
again.
not cool. What I'm saying is that it's absolutely 100% free.
Yes.
Whoa,
yes.
that's
yes.
brilliant.
So
Yes,
and
it's-
limited
We have an
space.
amazing. We had an
Through a
amazing
grant.
grant.
So we're underwrite. Okay,
Who
got
underwrote-
that. Underwriting it. Yeah.
Underwritten.
It is a grant. So
It is
people
a
can-
grant.
People can go for free.
Yes, and all of our virtual programs are going to always remain free. And we, once we reopen, we thought about pulling our virtual platform, but we've expanded. We've opened our world to nationwide and to worldwide. With one of the positives during the COVID lockdown is that we really opened up the community by by going virtual. So all of our existing virtual classes will remain. And you can also check those out at www.teafc.org.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
So, Tom, I am so excited for you to do this, and I will be there at the first class to welcome you in. And for more information about the dating spectrum or Sex Ed 101, please contact Blanca, BLANCA, at teafc.org.
So Tom, we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you so much,
See
Tom.
you soon.
And
Thank
Chrisa
you.
Thank you.
Chrisa will be joining us every Thursday for mental health check-in at the Brady Bunch of Autism. And you can see us twice in one day on Thursdays. Matt has no idea what time, but I'm sure Milo will let us know.
Well, I think it's 12 or 12:30. So you
Something
might want
like that.
to, yeah, you might
We'll
want to
let you
check our
know.
Facebook and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So are we going? Are we off now?
Are we going?
Are we ending the show?
Yes.
Okay. Do we
Let's
have
end with a bang.
anything further to say to Chrisa?
That we love her
Oh,
Yes.
and that we need to go to Tahiti soon.
we need to go to Tahiti. And you know what, you guys, Nava, you wrote me a letter, a little post-it note a couple years ago when we first started, and it says, "We heart you." And I have it on my wall right by my
Aw.
desk.
Well,
So
we've been together for a long time, 10 years.
10 years, four
Oh,
years
we have
here.
music. Are you going to sing?
I'm playing a song.
Oh, I thought he was
Aw,
going to sing.
brilliant. Well, aloha, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on
We'll
Tuesday.
keep your seatbelts fastened. We'll see you next week.